A mental patient in modern Britain is not easy. Indeed, the local villagers in these small towns have serious issues with mental patients. So it's very interesting to consider. Indeed, also the media is basically trying to create a large public backlash against paranoid schizophrenics. Indeed, as I stated before, the paranoid schizophrenics committing murders are being programmed to do so by the intelligence services and the police. So it's always interesting to note, indeed, this is part of a new Holocaust agenda being operated by the Aryan factions within British intelligence, the security services, and the British police, i.e., Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst connected operatives, therefore Bavarian Illuminists. It's all interesting what exactly is going on. It's all rather scary indeed. The police will do anything to maintain power in the United Kingdom. Indeed, they have hired private security firms trained by the Mossad in counter-terrorism techniques and human torture mechanisms. Indeed, as I've stated, the Mossad are Aryan faction Khazars, operative for the Fourth Reich networks of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. It's all very interesting to realize that the police have a huge endgame scenario for when the population begin to figure out that they're baby rapists organized into fraternities of Masonic lodges. Indeed, not only have the British police, hired private security firms, they've also hired paramilitaries from the Ukraine conflict of both Russian and Ukrainian heritage, who are themselves of the Aryan factions of these networks. The British police have also hired various networks of Albanian mafiosi who are going to be utilized to terrorize the population when people start rising up against the police state. Indeed, it's all been arranged. For 50 years, this has been being put into action. Indeed, my exposures of devices police opened up a can of worms whereby I've been put into a ritual torture program by a network of Satanists operative for the British police, coordinated by the Ferris family and Cassius Lynch, i.e. Vermin Linchenko of the Azov Battalion, whose real name is Warren Grimes. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, these networks are basically conducting torture programming on me. As a mental patient, I am a high-value target for these networks, who delight and take pleasure in torturing mental patients. Indeed, the British psychiatric system and British mental health services are controlled by networks of neo-Nazi Satanists, who are psychiatrists and predators. So it's all very interesting to note that the psychiatric system is coordinated by a Satanist network of Aryan faction, neo-Nazis. Indeed, I've explained before the link between Governor of the Bank of England, Montague Norman, an Aryan faction operative of MI6, and his interconnectivity with Hjalmar Schacht and the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, and how they were instrumental in the creation of the National Association for Mental Health, which is now known as the National Institute for Mental Health in the United Kingdom. Indeed, this is a Nazi organization based in Thomas W. Salmon's mental hygiene eugenicist ideals. Indeed, it's all really quite scary to consider the future for the mental patient population of the United Kingdom is not looking particularly bright. Indeed, British Hebrews are also designated targets of the British mental health system these days. Indeed, British Hebrews are going to be rounded up by networks of neo-Nazi Satanists and Faith of Ishmael jihadists operative for the British police in this endgame. Indeed, it's all very interesting to note that regarding my exposures and regarding my life, the karma has turned, and I have realized I was under neo-Nazi mind control programming for several years, and also the SVR networks were mind control programming. Also, indeed, the SVR coordinate the national anarchist movement by blackmail, as the entire male population of the national anarchist movement are protected child rapists and ritual murderers. So the SVR are able to basically blackmail them. Basically, they are working for a pro-Soviet agenda, which is operative for Aryan faction networks of the SVR and the GIU, who have a slightly altered endgame scenario for Britain, involving a replacement of the British police with a Soviet KGB network. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I've explained that there are dialectics between Bavarian Illuminism, i.e. the Nazis, and Soviet Illuminism, i.e. the Russian Aryan faction Soviet network. So it's all very interesting to consider how these dialectics operate and what this means for the conflict in Ukraine and how it relates to the parapolitics of the United Kingdom today and the power politics also. So interesting to note that the Green Party are neo-Nazi Satanists, operative as hippies, but they are actually neo-Nazi Satanists operative for the Trudovic networks of the SVR. And they have a slightly different agenda for the United Kingdom compared to the neo-Nazi satanic terrorist networks, such as those coordinated by Police Sergeant Jordan Anning of Devizes Police and Warren Grimes, aka PC Cassius Lynch of Devizes Police. It's interesting to consider that Jordan Anning has an ethnic girlfriend. However, I've explained before that there are many people of that ethnicity in the KKK. So it's all very interesting to note the situation that is coming down. Indeed, as I've stated, the karma has turned, and the entire situation is now reversed, which is all very interesting indeed. I planned this when I was 22 at Grenville Lodge. However, due to the amnesia placed upon me by the Grenville Lodge Freemasons, I forgot and was basically inculcated with neo-Nazi programming by networks of both British intelligence connected neo-Nazi Satanists and SVR Trudovics. So it's all very interesting to consider what has been going on. Indeed, British intelligence and Russian intelligence have been mind control programming me and fighting for my soul. However, neither faction of the Aryan faction has been able to conquer this mental patient. As I stated, I am on a higher level of evolution to you guys, and therefore I am an interdimensional intelligence operative. I am better at the game than you are. So it's all very interesting to consider. I'm basically one of the top level intelligence operatives within the conspiracy research circuit. Therefore, I'm a top level spy The thing is, I work for me. I'm a mental patient, and I will do as I please regarding communications with the local felines. Indeed, supposedly this is what almost the police are scared of. The fact that very soon I may start communicating with local felines. Indeed, they are not scared of this occurring because of me being dangerous or anything. They're scared of me doing this because of what I might say to them about the police. This is the thing. Everything is working out into the police's hands in this country, what with the networks of Anglo villagers deciding to become Aryans. Indeed, Anglo commoners are not Aryans. This is the thing. Anglo commoners are used as corporate labour by Aryans. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider that the Aryans are solely the child rapist elements within the Anglo communities. That's the thing. That's the Aryan faction. It is a religion based on Druidism, the worship of Germanic demon gods, and child rape. That's all Aryanism is. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider how so many hippies are Aryan faction operatives. Indeed, there is an Aryan caste within English society, which is basically headed by networks of Moseyites, which are interlinked with Palantir, who coordinate the activities of the defense industry and the Israeli state. So it's interesting to see the synthesis between the Israeli state and the fascists, i.e. the Mosley networks of the BUF, i.e. the British Union of Fascists, which is still in existence. And its top level members are part of the Aryan caste and see themselves as Brahmins. So it's very interesting indeed. Alex Karp of Palantir is a Sabbatean and a warlock, though he is handled by Peter Thiel, the arch-Aryan supremacist operative or networks of South African intelligence, therefore the Broederbond, who themselves directly interconnect to various private security firms operating for the British police now via Mossad. Interestingly, it's interesting how it all links up. Indeed, the British police are becoming scared of certain elements of the population, i.e. non-child rapist, Faith of Ishmael adherents, and various networks of black guys, and various networks of Anglos. So it's interesting to consider how this is all going to turn out. Indeed, the British police want to defend their child rape rings and defend the identities of the child rapists that they've been protecting within their communities. So the British police will basically cause a war within the United Kingdom to be able to do so, and holocaust certain percentages of the population, i.e. mental patients, Hebrew commoners, and Poles supposedly, which is interesting, considering the Poles are very much a Catholic entity. However, they are not considered Aryan by the Aryan faction, so it's interesting to consider. Indeed, Poles are wondering what I'm going to say about them. Indeed, I have nothing against Poles. This is the thing. Indeed, there are various networks of Poles who are interconnected with these neo-Nazi satanic organizations. However, they are thinking of getting out of that matrix. This is the thing. It's all occurring in a very interesting way in the United Kingdom. Indeed, the British government, i.e., the Soviet Union government, what with SVR Trudovics, KGB acolytes, and GRU military intelligence blackmailers basically running the British government, are operative for one thing, while the police are operative for a completely different situation. Indeed, the police, Aryan faction operatives, are not on board with the government's pro-Soviet agenda. Indeed, the pro-Soviet hippies are themselves thinking of switching into the British police's network because they don't like me. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I had an episode of problems with the McAllister family, a hippie family operating out of Caen. Indeed, the son is now a neo-Nazi terrorist, interestingly. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, the mother is a cannibal, and the oldest daughter is one of the most horrible people I've ever met. So it's interesting to note that the mother and the oldest daughter are serious hypocrites who waffle a load of bullshit constantly. This is why I don't like this British hippie continuum. Indeed, certain hippie networks in the 60s in the United States were really interesting and could have emerged as serious political opponents of the state. However, it was ruined by all these idiots who were similar to the McAllisters turning up. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, a lot of the hippies are actually agents provocateurs for the state structure. It's all very interesting. The McAllisters are working for Crown Police and are deeply interconnected with the organ trade, operating out of Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop in Devizes. Indeed, it's interesting how all of these networks are interlinking. Indeed, Crown Police are an appendage of Devizes Police's direct network. And therefore, it's true that PC Stuart Welsh oversees the kiddie porn production in Wiltshire towns such as Calne. So it's all very interesting to note the aspects surrounding PC Stuart Welsh, the arch baby rapist of Calne Police. So it's all very interesting to note that I was harassed, persecuted, and subject to unlawful arrest by PC Stuart Welsh on numerous occasions. So it's interesting to note that the British police may have realised early on that I wasn't a committed Nazi, and this is what brought about their agenda against me. Indeed, as I stated, the karma has turned, and the shoe's on the back foot, and now I'm going to fuck up Devizes and Calne as much as possible by releasing as much information into the public domain about certain individuals within those towns that basically the rest of England will begin to ask questions as to why they've been talking so much shit about me for all these years. See, it's interesting to consider that they're the ones who have been talking shit. And now that the karma has turned, I'm telling the truth about the pathetic little towns of Devizes and Calne in Wiltshire who are populated with child rapists, kiddie porn producers, and distributors of organs. So it's all very interesting to consider what exactly is going on in these supposedly sleepy towns in Wiltshire. It's a dark and disturbing scenario, which is all organised by Wiltshire Police. Indeed, the entire satanic network is organised by Wiltshire Police. Therefore, it is the domain of the councillors of Wiltshire also, who are all twisted and operative for Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst factions throughout Wiltshire and the rest of Britain. Indeed, the councillors are all operating as part of this grand German Masonic conspiracy to bring about Aryan domination over Anglo villages in collective farm systems. So it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, we are entering a stage of Techno-Feudalism, basically as William Snyder was describing it. Techno-Feudalism and the Technate is going to emerge in the United Kingdom in the next 15 years, headed by networks connected to Palantir, i.e. the intercommunion of the British Union of Fascists and the Sabbatean Dommek cult. So it's all very interesting. Do you see where I'm headed here? Indeed, I'm going to leave it there now.